This video is your passport to creamy, dreamy, caffeinated bliss. So let's get started. The cornerstone of any great latte is, of course, the espresso. And when it comes to espresso, the quality of your beans plays a pivotal role. Opt for freshly roasted, specialty-grade beans from reputable roasters. The fresher and higher quality your beans, the more nuanced and flavorful your espresso will be. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, try experimenting with different coffee origins and roasts to find your perfect match. A medium roast is generally recommended for its well-balanced flavor profile. But don't be afraid to explore darker roasts for a bolder taste or lighter roasts for a brighter, more acidic cup. Another key factor in creating a fantastic latte is the grind size. You need to ensure it's just right for your espresso machine. Too coarse and your espresso will be weak and watery. Too fine and it will be over-extracted and bitter. Finding the sweet spot is essential for a smooth, rich brew. And don't forget about the water quality. Using filtered water will prevent any off-putting mineral flavors from interfering with your espresso's delicate taste. But wait, there's more. The real magic happens when you start dialing in your espresso machine's settings. Pay attention to the extraction time. Aim for around 25 to 30 seconds for a double shot. If it's too fast, you might need to adjust your grind size or tamp pressure. If it's too slow, try back-flushing your machine or cleaning the group head. These tips will help you extract the full potential of your coffee, ensuring a robust, flavorful base for your latte. Now that we've covered the espresso, let's turn our attention to the other half of the latte equation, the milk. The quality of your milk can make or break your latte, so it's worth taking the time to find the freshest, highest quality milk you can. Look for milk from local dairies or consider purchasing directly from a farm if possible. Whole milk is often preferred for its higher fat content, which produces a richer, creamier foam. However, if you prefer a lighter option, skim or oat milk can also be used. Just keep in mind that the lower fat content may result in a less stable foam. Now let's talk steaming. It's an art form and crucial for creating that perfect latte. Pouring the cold milk over the hot steam wand creates a suction effect that draws air into the milk, causing it to expand and become foam. This process not only adds air, but also changes the milk's temperature and texture, making it velvety and smooth. To achieve this, use a pitcher specifically designed for latte art. These pitchers have a narrow spout that helps you control the flow of milk, allowing you to create intricate designs. Now, here's a pro tip. Preheat the milk before steaming. Pour the milk into a separate container to heat it up. This step will help remove excess water from the milk, resulting in a more concentrated and flavorful foam. While steaming, keep a close eye on the milk. You want to stop steaming when it reaches a temperature of 60 degrees Celsius, or when it doubles in volume. Oversteaming can result in a dry, foamy consistency, which won't be ideal for your latte. Now, let's talk about the most Instagram-worthy part of the latte, the foam art. Pouring the milk into the espresso in a way that creates beautiful latte art is the final step in creating the perfect latte. To get started, you'll need to master the basics of milk pouring technique. Begin by holding the pitcher close to the surface of the espresso to create a base for your design. Then slowly lift the pitcher to create different shapes and patterns. It takes practice to develop the right hand and wrist movements, but with time and patience, you'll be able to create intricate heart shapes and even rosettas. Another factor that influences your foam art is the consistency of the milk. It should be thick and creamy, holding its shape when you lift the pitcher. If it's too runny, try steaming it for a bit longer. If it's too stiff, add a little hot water to loosen it up. Playing around with the milk temperature can also make a difference. Slightly warmer milk will be easier to pour, making it ideal for beginners. As you become more confident, you can try pouring with colder milk to create more intricate designs. A handy tool for achieving latte art mastery is the backboard. This is a simple piece of paper or cardboard placed behind the cup to catch any splashes and help you visualize your design. It's an excellent way to practice and refine your pouring technique without wasting coffee or milk. Finally, don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with it. Try different pouring speeds, heights, and angles to see what works best for you and your equipment. Remember, latte art is a subjective form of expression. There's no right or wrong way to do it. There you have it, folks. By following these steps and practicing your technique, you'll be well on your way to creating cafe-quality lattes at home. But our tips don't end there. We've got 3 more bonus tips that are sure to elevate your latte game even further. First, try using a scale to weigh your coffee and milk. This will ensure consistency in your measurements, making each latte as perfect as the last. Second, don't overlook the power of pre-infusion. Before brewing your espresso, give your coffee a quick pre-infusion to help it bloom and release trapped gases. This will result in an even more flavorful and aromatic brew. And third, consider using a pressure gauge. A pressure gauge can help you monitor your espresso machine's pressure during brewing. This can be especially helpful if you're experiencing issues with extraction. Now, we want to hear from you. What are your go-to tips for making the perfect latte? Share your secrets in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more barista tips and tricks. Until next time, happy. How do you make an espresso shot? Is it a difficult skill or is it easy? Well, if you are new to espresso, then we're going to take you from zero knowledge to being able to pull the perfect shot like a barista pro. And if you've already mastered your espresso skills, then this video will help refresh your memory on all the small details that can make the difference between a good shot and an amazing one. So, whether you're new to espresso or you're a seasoned pro, let's get started. When you think about making an espresso shot, there are 2 main parts: making the espresso and pulling the shot. Today, we'll cover both topics and how you can master them. We'll also be covering what makes up a really good espresso shot, so you know exactly what you're working towards. So first things first, what makes up a great espresso shot? Well, in order for your espresso to taste its best, there are three main factors at play. First, the coffee itself needs to be ground finely enough to allow the water to flow through it at the right speed. If the grind size is too large, then the water will flow too quickly through the coffee puck and extract too little of the grounds. If the grind size is too small, then the water will flow too slowly through the grounds and over-extract it. The ideal flow rate for espresso should be around 2 to 3 seconds per ounce. Too fast and you'll under-extract. Too slow and you'll over-extract. The second factor is the temperature of the brewing process. Water that is too cool won't have enough energy to extract all of the compounds from the coffee grounds, while water that is too hot may be able to extract everything from the coffee grounds. It could also start to burn and char the grounds, causing a bitter taste. The ideal temperature range for espresso brewing is between 194 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit, or 90 to 96 degrees Celsius. And the third factor is the pressure at which the water is forced through the grounds. If the pressure is too low, then the water will flow through the grounds too quickly and you'll end up with an under-extracted shot. On the other hand, if the pressure is too high, then you could end up with over-extraction. Additionally, low pressure can cause channeling through the coffee puck, while high pressure can cause the espresso to split and become gritty. The optimal pressure for